In the last video, we discussed about the stereochemistry and nomenclature of steroids. In this video, we will discuss about the receptors of steroid and about the steroidal sex hormones. Okay. So, the question that arises is you have seen the basic structures of all the steroids. Okay. Now we have, when we discussed about the nomenclature of steroids, we discussed that there are basically 5 types of parent structures corresponding to carbon numbers 17, 18, 19, 21 and 27, and the names were accordingly gonane, estrane, endostrane, pregnane and cholesterol. Now, if you recollect the structure of those steroids, you can see that there is very less difference in the structure. Okay. In the case of estrogens, estrane derivatives, we have C18. In the case of endostrane derivative, we have C19. Now, addition of this angular methyl group only changes the bioactivity of these steroids. Okay, whereas the estrane derivatives are the female sex hormones. We will discuss more about them in the upcoming slides. The endostrane derivatives, they are the male sex hormones. So the basic question that arises is what is the reason for this? Why a small change in the structure of a steroid is affecting its bioactivity? Okay. So basic skeleton of all the steroid is almost alike. However, the activities are of totally diverse and specific nature. So what is the question? What is the reason for this? And the reason for this is that each of the steroid have got its own receptors, and these are called as steroid receptors. Okay. Now these steroid receptors, they are highly specific for the steroid, and thus they have to maintain their proper three-dimensional shape. Now this three-dimensional shape of a steroid receptor is maintained by its association with certain proteins like chaperones, co-chaperones. Okay, chaperones and co-chaperones, these are the proteins that forms a complex with the receptors of the steroid and to maintain their proper shape. Okay, now what happens when the steroid molecule, it binds to the complex of receptor of steroid and protein complex, it induces a change of reaction. Okay, it induces a chain of reaction or a series of reaction that ultimately produces the desired effect. Okay, so steroid receptors in association with the proteins like chaperones and co-chaperones maintain the proper three-dimensional shape of the receptor protein complex. Okay, and when a steroid molecule, it binds to a receptor complex, it induces a series of reactions that ultimately result in the effect of that steroid. Okay, now let us see in the by means of flowchart the mechanism of this. Now here you can see it is a steroid molecule. Now it binds to a receptor protein complex. Now this, on binding of steroid to this receptor and protein complex, this receptor dimerizes and the protein part separate out. The receptor, it dimerizes and the protein part separates out. Now this dimer of a receptor, it is phosphorylated, and after phosphorylation it enters the nucleus. Okay, now once it enters the nucleus, it binds to the target genes. Binding of to target genes thus then forms the proteins that are desired, and these proteins ultimately result in the response that is required. Now these receptors for steroids, they can be present in the cytoplasm or else they can be present in the nucleus of the cell. Okay, now there is slight difference in the process, but overall the flow mechanism is like this only. Okay, so this is common for all the steroids that we will discuss, that the steroid bind to a receptor protein complex, the receptor dimerizes, the protein separates, the dimer of the receptor, it gets phosphorylated, After phosphorylation, it enters the nucleus, binds to target genes, desired proteins are formed, and ultimately the response is produced. Now coming to the steroidal sex hormones. Now these steroidal sex hormones, they play a role in reproduction and giving men and women their characteristics, sexual characteristics. Okay, so these play an important role or profound role in reproduction and giving men and women their characteristic sexual characteristics. Now we have two categories of steroidal sex hormones: female sex hormones and the male sex hormone. Now the female sex hormone are estrogens and progestins. The natural estrogens are estradiol, estrone and estratriol, and the natural progestin is progesterone. Okay, likewise we have male steroidal sex hormone, that is the testosterone. Okay, so this is the are the steroidal sex hormones, female and male. Now interestingly, all of these steroids are biosynthesized in both males and females. Okay, it does not mean that the male does not synthesize or does not have these estrogens and progestins. In the male body also these female sex hormones are synthesized, and likewise vice versa, means in female also testosterone is synthesized. Okay, now in females all these steroids are biosynthesized in males and female, and in females testosterone, it is synthesized by the ovaries, adrenal glands and other peripheral tissues. Now the synthesis in other peripheral tissues, it starts from the precursor produced by the adrenal gland. In males, the estrogen, which is a female sex hormone, it is synthesized in the testis, and progesterone, which is again a female sex hormone, it is synthesized in the adrenal glands and testis, and this hormone progesterone, it also influences the sperm genesis or formation of sperms. Okay, so we can see that both the male and female sex hormone, they are present in both the individuals, whether it is male or female. It is only the relative amount of these hormones that influences the characteristics, especially that of the sexual characteristics. Okay, now let us discuss about the receptors of these steroidal sex hormones. As we can see, we have specific receptors for estrogens, for progesterone and testosterone. For estrogens, we have two distinct estrogen receptors, ERs, ER alpha and ER beta. Okay, likewise we have two receptors, different forms of receptor for progesterone, PRA and PRB. Now PRB, progesterone receptor B, mainly mediates the stimulatory actions of progesterone, and PRA modulates the transcription process. Now testosterone, its receptors are the AR receptors or the androgen receptors. Okay, so these are the steroids receptors of the steroidal sex hormone, estrogen, progesterone and the testosterone. Now coming to the chemistry of each of these steroidal sex hormone, the first is estrogens. Okay, now the three natural estrogens found in mammals are the estradiol, estrone and estratriol. Okay, these are the three naturally occurring estrogens: estradiol, estrone and estratriol. Now if you look at the structure of this estradiol, you can name it also by considering the rules we have discussed in the previous video. The first step was identification of the parent structure. Now you can see the basic carbon skeleton steroidal structure, it contains 18 carbon atoms, so it is a derivative of estrone. Okay, and in the second was we look for the specific features. Now what are the features in this? We have 3 double bonds in the ring A at position number 1. Now if you number this ring 1 2 3 4 5, and this is position number 10. So out of these 3 double bonds, double bond at position number 1 and 3, they are sequential double bond, and this is non-sequential double bond. So we have 1 3 5 bracket में, inside the bracket we have 5 10 triene. Okay, now estradiol, because it is an estrane derivative, and in addition to this we have a hydroxyl group or a all group at the 3rd position at the 17th position. Now at the 17th position it is attached by the beta configuration. Beta means above the plane of this steroidal ring structure. Okay, so the chemical name of this estradiol is 1,3,5,10 estratriene 3,17 beta diol. Okay, likewise we can name estrone and estratriol. Okay, now in the case of estrone, the only difference is the occurrence of 17 on, rest of the name is same. Likewise in the name of estratriol, we have an additional OH group, hydroxy group at the position number 16th, attached via the dotted lines, means the alpha configuration. So these are the 3 naturally occurring estrogens: estradiol, estrone and estratriol. Now if you look at the activity of these hormones, if administered by the subcutaneous route, estradiol is the most active, then estrone, and then estradiol. Okay, whereas the order of bioactivity changes somewhat on the oral administration. Now on oral administration, the activity is estradiol is greater than estradiol, and then comes the estrone. Okay, now coming to the metabolism of these estrogens. Now these estrogens, they are biochemically interconvertible by the enzyme estradiol dehydrogenase. Okay, now this enzyme estradiol dehydrogenase it converts these estrogens into interconvertible. They are interconvertible, and another interesting thing to note about this is that out of this is estradiol, estrone and estradiol. Now this is highest synthesized. Okay, the highest estrogen that is synthesized is the estradiol. However, if we check the plasma concentration of the 3 estrogens, estrone is found in the highest amount in the plasma, highest concentration. And if we check the estrogens in the urine, the highest concentration is that of the estradiol. Okay, so largest synthesis is that of estradiol. In the plasma, it is we found this estrone as the most abundant estrogen, and in the urine we have estradiol. Okay, now these estrogens, they are metabolized in the liver, and then they are excreted as conjugation with glucuronic acid and with sulfate. Okay, metabolized in the liver and excreted as glucuronides and sulfates. These are water soluble. So this was about the metabolism and activity of these naturally occurring estrogens. Now coming to the structural classes or chemical classes of these estrogens, we have 2 broad categories. One is the steroidal estrogens and their derivatives. Now this category consists of normally occurring naturally occurring steroids in mammals, namely steroidal estradiol, estrone and estratriol, and in addition to this we have estrogens that are obtained from the horses. Okay, so these are this is one of the class. Another class is that of the non-steroidal estrogens. Now this non-steroidal estrogens, they are interesting because they do not have the steroid like structure present with them. However, they still show the activity similar to that of estrogens. In this category we have two classes. One is the diethylstilbestrol and its derivatives, and second is the phytoestrogens. Now these phytoestrogens, as the name indicates, they are naturally present in the plants or derived from plants, and the other category of the non-steroidal estrogens is that of diethylstilbestrol and its derivative. We will see about this class in the next slide. Okay, so this was about the estrogens, metabolism, and the structure classes of estrogens. Now the first estrogen is the estradiol. Now estradiol is, as we have discussed, this is the chemical structure of estradiol. It is the most potent active natural estrogen. However, its action is very short. Okay, at very short of duration of action because of two reasons primarily: degradation in the by the microbes in the gastrointestinal tract, and because of the hepatic first pass metabolism. Okay, so because of these two factors, estradiol cannot be used orally because it has got very short duration of action due to first pass metabolism and due to the degradation of by the microbes in the gastrointestinal tract. So chemical modifications onto the structure of this estradiol are done so as to increase the duration of action and form the oral derivatives, orally active derivatives. Now ethinyl estradiol, it is a semi-synthetic derivative, and it is a, this is the chemical structure of ethinyl estradiol. Now what we have done, we have attached this ethinyl group, alkynyl group at the 17th position via the alpha configuration, so that compound becomes ethinyl estradiol, and this is a semi-synthetic derivative, and it is 15 to 20 times more potent than the estradiol when administered by the oral route. And this stabilization of this group, introduction of this group, alkyl group, it prevents the degradation of this OH group at this position. Okay, so stabilization of OH group at 17B and preventing inactivation and thus prolonging the duration of action and of the estradiol. Now coming to the SAR of within this class. Now the first point is that now you can see this out of these three rings, four ring system, ring A, B, C and D. Now ring A is an aromatic ring system, and this is an, hence it becomes a phenolic alcoholic group. It is a phenolic group and it is an alcoholic group. Now this phenolic ring A is responsible for the selectivity and high affinity of the estrogens. So this is the first point in SAR. The phenolic ring A, this ring A, is responsible for the selectivity and high affinity, and hence any substitution on the alkyl ring, any alkyl substitution in the ring A, this is ring A, any alkyl substitution in the ring A, it decreases the potency. Now we can have substituents at ring C, this is ring C and this is ring D. We can have substituents at ring C and D, but they will have varying effects on the activity and potency. So substitutions on ring C and D are allowed, and they have varying effect on potency. Substitution on ring A are not allowed. However, substitutions can be done in the ring system C and D. Depending upon the substituents, the effect on potency varies. Now this alcoholic group at the 17th position, 17th beta attached via 17th beta configuration, it can be formed into esters. Now these esters have the advantage that they hydrolyze slowly, and thus the duration of action is increased, and also they are then administered by the intramuscular route. So ester derivatives of estradiol, they are administered by the intramuscular route and they are long acting. Now this is the common approach for increasing the duration of action. Whenever in a drug we have a free alcoholic group, if you convert that alcoholic group into an ester, the duration of that drug, duration of action of the drug, it increases. Okay. Now coming further to the SAR, this is the estradiol molecule. The next point is the distance between these two OH groups, this OH and this OH. The distance between these OH group is important for the activity of estradiol. Also we can have substitutions at position number by OH at position number 6, position number 7 and position number 11. Now as we know, by the numbering, this is position number 6, 7 and position number 11. We can have OH group at these positions, here also and here also, and these OH groups, however, they reduce the activity. Likewise, if we replace the oxygen of OH group at position number 3 and at 17, the activity is also reduced. If we change the configuration of this 17 beta into 17 alpha, we form an epimer of this, then also the activity get reduced. Introduction of double bond, this is ring B, this is ring B. Introduction of double bond in this ring, it reduces the potency of the compound. Likewise, this is ring D. Enlargement of ring D, if we increase the size of ring D, and as we have discussed in the nomenclature, enlargement of size is shown by the prefix homo. Okay, so this D homo derivatives, they are not active, or the activity reduces greatly, and thus the intact ring, however, is not essential for the activity. Okay, enlargement of this ring D, it decreases the activity significantly. However, this ring should not, it can be broken from here or here. So intact ring D is not essential for activity. We will see when we will discuss about the non-steroidal estrogens, the basics of this. Okay, so this was about the SAR of within the estrogens. Okay, now these esters of estradiol that are used are benzoate, 3-benzoate, form an alcoholic group at this third position. It forms an ester with the benzoic acid, valeric acid and the 17th thiopinate. Okay, now estrone, chemically the chemical name of estrone is 3-hydroxyestra 1,3,5,10 triene 17-one, and it is used as 3-sulfate ester. And estradiol, the chemical name is estra 1,3,5,10 triene 3 16 alpha and 17 beta triol, and these are the acids that are used for formation of esters of the estrogens. Okay, valeric acid, benzoic acid and the thiopanic acid. Now coming to the next category of non-steroidal estrogens, the compound in this category is the diethylstilbestrol and its derivative. Now if you look at the structure of this diethylstilbestrol, it is like this. Okay, now you can see that this DES, it does not have any structural feature that resembles that of a steroid. However, the activity is similar to that of the female hormone, female steroid estrogen. Okay, this is very interesting that in this Now we have a double bond over here, and hence there this rotation about this bond is hindered, and thus we have cis and trans isomer. And in the case of DES, a diethylestylbestrol, trans form is the active form. Okay. Now the reason for the activity of this DES similar to that of estrogens was given by this theory that in estrogens, this is diethylestylbestrol. In estrogens, if you look at the distance of this OH group and this OH group, it is around about 10.9 angstrom, and if you measure the distance of OH group here and here, in DES it is 12.1 angstrom. However, if we add the water molecule in this, which is the water molecule that is present in the body in the bonded form with OH at 17th position, the distance is almost same. So this was proposed that the distance of these OH groups is important for the binding of the drug to its receptor, and hence despite of not having any steroidal structure, DES still binds with the receptors of estrogens. Okay. Now another drug in this category is dinestrol. Okay, let us first discuss the advantages of diethylestylbestrol. It is as active as estradiol. It has got a longer duration of action. Importantly, it is orally active. As we have discussed, estradiol is not orally active because it is metabolized by hepatic first pass metabolism, and also it is degraded by the microbes in the GIT. Okay, and because it can be synthetically prepared, it is cheaper than the estradiol. Also, the other drug in this case is dinestrol. This is the structure of dinestrol. In this, the double bond is not over here. Double bond gets shifted to this position. This is a chemical structure of dinestrol. Okay, so this was about diethylestylbestrol and its derivative class. The next class is that of phytoestrogens. Now this phytoestrogens are obtained from the plant, and these are the compounds with weak estrogenic activity. The compounds mainly with this activity are genistein and diastein. These are the structures of genistein and diastein. Again, you can see they are not steroidal compound. However, they still possess these OH groups. Okay, similar to that of DES. Okay. Now the therapeutic uses of these estrogens. These estrogens, they found their therapeutic use in the control of birth control, in the case of hormone replacement therapy, and for treatment of symptoms of the menopause. Okay. So this was all about the estrogens and its derivative. The next class of female sex hormones are the progesterone. Now progesterone is the name given to all the synthetic compounds that are having activity similar to that of progesterone. Okay, so progesterone are synthetic or semi-synthetic steroids with biological activities similar to that of progesterone. Now progesterone, as we have discussed, is the endogenous female sex hormone. It is a key endogenous steroidal hormone. Now, as we have also discussed that this progesterone, it is also required for the spermogenesis in the males. However, again, like estradiol, this progesterone, it is also have a very short duration of action. In fact, the half life of this is only about 5 minutes when taken orally because of the rapid metabolism. So here also we can see that similar to that of estradiol, this progesterone, it cannot also be administered by or taken by the oral route. Now, if you look at the chemical structure of this progesterone, we can identify by again looking back at the rules that we discussed when we discussed about the nomenclature of steroids, that this, the first step is identification of carbon. So this is C21, pregnant derivative, and then we come to the identification of features. So in this we have a double bond 1 2 3 4 at the fourth position. So it is 4-ene, preg 4-ene, and in addition to this we have a one group, keto group at the 3 and 20th position. So the chemical name of the progesterone is pregnane 320-dione preg-4-ene. Okay, now this progesterone, it is acted upon by the enzyme reductase 3 alpha HSD hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase and 20 alpha hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase to ultimately form 3 alpha 20 alpha diol 5 beta pregnane. Okay, so these three enzymes, reductase enzyme, it removes this double bond from here. Then we have 3 alpha HSD which converts this keto group at the third position to the OH group via, and it is attached via the alpha configuration. So the name of this enzyme is 3 alpha HSD. Now by the action of enzyme 20 alpha HSD, the keto group at 20th position, this, it is transformed into an alcoholic group attached via the alpha configuration. So this is the metabolism of progesterone. Now coming to the structural classes of or chemical classes of progestins, we have three different chemical classes of progestins. Number one is progesterone and its derivatives. Second class is testosterone and 19-nor testosterone derivatives. Again you can see that testosterone is basically a male sex hormone. However, the derivatives of testosterone and 19-nor testosterone, 19-nor means we have the angular methyl group is missing, which is at the 19th, which is C19, and testosterone and 19-nor testosterone derivatives, they are having activity similar to that of progestins or like similar to that of progesterone. And then we have third class, that is miscellaneous synthetic progestins. Okay, now coming to the first class, progesterone and its derivatives. Now as we have discussed, the oral bioavailability of progesterone is poor because of poor absorption and almost complete metabolism in one passage through the liver. We have discussed the half-life is only about 5 minutes. So let us briefly discuss the SAR of this progesterone and its derivatives. The first, this is the structure of progesterone. The first point is introduction of 17 alpha acyl group. It slows the metabolism of 20-one. Okay, now this is position number 17. Introduction of acyl group via alpha configuration. Over here it slows the metabolism of this 20-one and hence it increases the duration of action. Similarly, 6-methyl group enhances the activity and reduces the metabolism. Introduction of methyl group at this position, 6th position, CH3 group at this position, it increases the activity and reduces the metabolism. Now this is structure 4-ene and 3-one. Okay, now this structure is essential for the activity of progesterone. This is the point number 3. 4-ene 3-one structure is essential for the activity, and 19-nor progesterone derivative, they still maintain the activity similar to that of progestins. Okay, now these are the examples of chemical modifications. For example, in this molecule we have this group, acyl group at the 17th position, it slows the metabolism, and we have a methyl group at the 6th position attached via the alpha conformation. At this increases the activity. The name of this drug is medroxyprogesterone acetate. Okay, likewise another example of the SAR is this. Now this is basically a derivative of testosterone, and we have attached this alkyl group at this position. Now this impart activity. Now another example is the drug is ethisterone. Then we have norgestrel. Again you can see the methyl group at this position, angular methyl group at C10 is missing, but it is having activity. 19 node derivative having activity that of progestin. And then we have this another drug trimethystone, which is again a 19 node derivative, and in addition it have a double bond at this position. Okay, so this was all about the progestins. Now coming to the male sex hormones. Now the male sex hormone is testosterone. Now this testosterone has got two primary activities. One activity is called androgenic, another is anabolic. Now androgenic activity is concerned with the male sexual physical characteristics, and anabolic activity is concerned with the muscle building. Now if you look at the structure of this testosterone, it is like this. Now as you can see, it contains C19 and hence it is a derivative of androsten. However, because it contains a double bond at this fourth position, it is 4-ene androsten and 3-one. So the name of this testosterone chemically is 17-beta androsten 4-ene 3-one. Okay, now this testosterone, it is acted upon by the enzyme reductase to form the active form of this testosterone, that is 5-alpha dihydrotestosterone. Okay, now this double bond is reduced from here. Okay, and the active form of this testosterone is 5-alpha dihydrotestosterone. Now this is the active form in the prostate. Now this 5-alpha DST, it then forms two metabolites, 3-alpha hydroxy 3-alpha hydroxy, okay, and 3-beta hydroxy. Now of this alpha and beta, the major metabolite is the 3-alpha hydroxy. Okay, so testosterone, it converts by the action of enzyme reductase into 5-alpha dihydrotestosterone, which is the active form of testosterone in many of the receptors in the prostate also. And then this 5-alpha dihydrotestosterone, it metabolizes into two forms. 3-alpha hydroxy is a major metabolite and 3-beta hydroxy is the minor metabolite. Now in addition to this, this OH group at the 17th position, it can also be oxidized to a ketone. So it is another route of metabolism of this testosterone. Oxidation of 17-beta hydroxy to ketone is another route of metabolism. Now coming to the SAR of this. Now this introduction of 17-alpha alkyl groups reduce the metabolism of this testosterone. 17 hydroxy group, if you convert this 17 OH group into esters, it increases the duration of activity and prevents oxidation. Now this point is important, that introduction of methyl group via the at the 17th position, 17-alpha methyl testosterone, they are toxic to the liver, are hepatotoxic. If we convert the OH group at the 17th position, form 17-beta to 17-alpha, that is we form epimer of this or the epitestosterone, it highly reduces the activity of testosterone. Now introduction of 17-alpha alkyl groups. Now what it does, we have studied before. If we introduce a group attached via alpha configuration, CH, at this in the molecule of testosterone, what happens to the activity? The activity becomes similar to that of the progestins. Okay, so it becomes progesterone like activity introduction of this group at the 17th alpha. And the last point regarding the activity is that all the steroids that have this 4-ene and 3-one structure, double bond at 4th and keto group at 3 position, they are sensitive to light, and hence they are stored in a light resistant container. All steroids having 4-ene and 3-one are light sensitive. Okay. So this was about the steroid testosterone. Now the question is, can we have synthetic derivatives of testosterone with high anabolic activity and no androgenic activity? Okay, as we have discussed just in the previous slide, that testosterone has got two activities: anabolic, that are responsible for the muscle building, and then androgenic activity, which is responsible for the development of sexual characteristics of a male. Now these derivatives of testosterone with high anabolic activity are in demand because they increase the muscle mass and they boost up the physical activity and stamina, and hence this question arises, okay, can we have synthetic derivatives with high anabolic activity and no androgenic activity? And the answer is no. Still we cannot differentiate, or we cannot have a derivative of testosterone with only anabolic activity and no androgenic activity. So be careful when if any buddy of any friend of you takes the muscle building powder, then do look at the constituents, that it should not contain the steroid derivative of testosterone, because as we have just know that the androgenic activity cannot be separated by the anabolic activity so far. Okay, so the drugs are the floxymestrone. Now this floxymestrone, it is a derivative of testosterone having a 9 alpha fluoro group. It enhances the anabolic activity. Then another derivative is nandrolone. Now this nandrolone, you can see it is a 19-nor derivative. Okay, and this drug is stanozolol. Now this was a drug that was used by a sprinter and to enhance his performance in the 100-meter race in the Olympics, and later it was found that he has consumed this drug to boost up his physical activity. The medal was withdrawn from him. Okay, so this was a drug, stanozolol. Now 17 beta esters of testosterone, they are having long duration of action and are used by the intramuscular route. The esters that are formed are the testosterone thiopionate and the testosterone propionate. Now this nandrolone, it is used as nandrolone decanoate, which is chemically 17 beta hydroxyestra 4-ene 3-one 17 decanoate. Okay, so this was about the steroids in the syllabus.